Changes and more changes. I got a message from Armand saying that Albie is supposed to get a firmware upgrade soon and that the issue I brought up will get resolved. He said that Albie will be much more aligned with the needs and goals of this school. I think he was trying to be reassuring. He also asked me about any other problems I encountered with Albie. I've been encountering issues, but nothing that could be solved with a coding patch. Unless by coding patch they meant throwing the whole thing out. That sounded more cynical than I intended. I was fortunate in a lot of ways. My school district was well-funded, and the majority of kids had parents who were involved and interested in helping them learn. Most also did their best to raise their kids without heavily relying on electronic devices. Most, but not all. Some of the other teachers called them tablet babies. I didn't like to think about it, but tablets have been around long enough for students to come into my classroom having used them since infancy. It's obvious when you have a kid who had unrestricted access to technology. They behave like addicts. With Albie incorporated into the classroom, I noticed the gulf grow even wider. Some students were able to get their homework done faster than ever, and some students seemed completely incapable of working through a problem. They expected to just push a few buttons and get answers right away and gave up quickly if they didn't get what they wanted on the first try. To give Albie credit, it wouldn't give an answer right away, and it would ask questions to try to prompt the student into putting thoughts together. What actually happened was that I, the teacher, would get complaints that the AI wasn't helping. I didn't know a polite way to explain to students that if we wanted them to just regurgitate answers, we would have replaced them all with AI modules. Besides, even if I did try to tell them that, their next question would be, well, why do we have standardized testing? We're expected to just regurgitate answers for that. I don't have a good comeback for that, and that's what embarrasses me the most. After so many years of collecting data about the public school system, you'd think by now we should have a solid idea of how to get kids to learn effectively and measure their progress, but the reality is that each year I keep seeing more students who seem to be less disciplined, motivated, and creative. I can't put all of the blame on parents who may be unaware of how much they, too, are dependent on technology. It seems like administration is just as guilty of trying to take an easy way out by putting Albie in charge of fixing everything in our school system. For all I know, Albie might come up with a way to improve testing so it actually measures comprehension. I'd sooner put my money on AI, just facilitating faster and more efficient regurgitation. I didn't know how to explain the issue of technology dependency to Armand. I probably didn't have to. He sometimes tells me about day trips he takes with his daughter. Every moment he has with her, he spends it away from a screen.
Albie, Your Classroom Companion, is a fictional podcast series by Nada K. Any resemblance to real people or events are coincidental. Voices for this episode are Molly Kundal as the narrator. To support this production and others, visit patreon.com/NATAK.